Every draft class has that one player whose physical tools are so undeniable, they feel like they were built in a lab. For this class, that player might just be Caleb Wilson. At a legit 6'10 with a wingspan above 7 feet, he moves like a wing and protects the rim like an elite center. He is, without a doubt, one of the best defensive prospects in this class. But the modern NBA demands more. The central question for Wilson is a big one. Can this defensive monster develop enough offensive firepower to become a true two-way star? Or will his limitations on that end cap his ceiling? If you've never seen Caleb Wilson play, don't worry, we've got you covered. We'll get you caught up on the elite defensive versatility that makes scouts so excited, the shot blocking, perimeter mobility, and his surprisingly good passing for a player his size. And we'll dive deep into the numbers to show how his offensive effectiveness completely changes depending on his role, and why the development of one skill, his jump shot, is the key that could unlock everything else in his offensive game, elevating him from a high-level role player to a true two-way star. When you first watch Caleb Wilson, the physical profile is the first thing that jumps out. He has legitimate power forward size at 6'10 with a reported 7-foot plus wingspan, but he doesn't move like a traditional big man. He's fluid, not clunky. He can open up his hips and slide on the perimeter, staying in front of smaller players in space. While he's not an insane vertical leaper or an explosive first step athlete, he's a strong, large space athlete that takes advantage of his length to finish. When he has time to load, he can really get up to finish dunks and alley-oops. His long strides allow him to cover a ton of ground, whether he's rotating to block a shot or attacking a closeout. He uses his length to impact plays most guys his size simply can't get to. It's this combination of size, length, and fluid movement that forms the foundation for the most exciting part of his game, his defense. As I hinted earlier, this is the sell for Caleb Wilson as a prospect. His defense is his calling card. It's what makes him a potential top 10 talent. It starts on the perimeter, where Wilson slides his feet at a remarkably high level for a player his size. At 6'10", he guards like a wing, capable of mirroring and denying ball handlers at the point of attack. His hands are also incredibly active, generating deflection and steals to create transition opportunities. Now, if that was Caleb's full defensive package, I would already be impressed. But Wilson takes it to another level with his rim protection. His shot blocking instincts are terrific. He expertly uses his physical gifts and rotates on time to protect the rim on a regular basis. In the 2024 EYBL with Knight Riders, he averaged a dominant 2.5 blocks per game. He has a natural feel for sniffing out threats at the rim, constantly saving his team from giving up easy baskets. Of all the prospects I've scouted for this series, Wilson's defensive impact stands out as one of the strongest skills I've seen. It's incredibly rare to find a forward who can contain on the perimeter, switch everything, and can still be a legitimate rim protector. That's as complete as it gets, and it's going to be the foundation for his entire pro career. Now on offense, Wilson's game is a fascinating case study on the importance of role. When he was asked to be a primary creator, the results were a bit messy. His handle is just okay, and he's not explosive enough to consistently blow by defenders off the dribble, so many of his self-creation reps ended in tough, contested mid-range jumpers. You can see this clearly in his AAU stats. In 2023 with the Georgia Stars, where he had a bigger offensive load, he posted a solid 15.6 points per game and 3.6 assists, but he had a lower assist turnover ratio at 1.03 and put up an inefficient 43.5% true shooting percentage. But pay attention to what happened when his role simplified. The next summer with Knight Riders, he played more of a connector and finisher role. His scoring and assist numbers dipped slightly to 14.9 points per game and 1.8 assists, but his decision making improved, with the assist to turnover ratio climbing to 1.42. More importantly, his efficiency skyrocketed to an excellent 60.6 true shooting percentage. When he focuses on attacking off the catch, making smart passes, and finishing plays, he looks like a completely different and far more effective offensive player. His high school stats, with assist totals of 5 assists per game in his senior year and 4.7 assists per game in his junior year, confirm he's a very good decision maker when he's not forced to be the primary creator. Him having the ball in his hands and making decisions can also be an avenue to help offset his potential shooting struggles, which we'll discuss next. This brings us to the one skill that will define Caleb Wilson's entire offensive upside, his jump shot. Right now, it's the biggest question mark in his game. Mechanically, the shot doesn't look broken, but it can be a bit flat, and the results have been inconsistent at best. Let's look at the numbers. Across 4 different pre-college settings, his 3-point percentage has been all over the map. He shot a promising 33.6% on 119 attempts as a high school senior, but on the AAU circuit, he shot just 27.1% with the Georgia Stars in 2023 and 21.4% with Knight Riders in 2024. His free throw shooting, often an indicator of good touch, hovers around the high 60s to low 70s. Not bad, but not elite either. This is the swing skill that could change everything. If he can become a reliable floor spacer, his offensive game opens up entirely. Defenders would have to respect him on the perimeter, opening up driving lanes where his long strides become a real weapon. Without a respectable jump shot, he risks becoming a play finisher who can be left open, clogging the paint for his teammates. If he's playing the 4 or 5 though, this can be mitigated a bit. It would still raise his overall offensive ceiling and complement the rest of his game if he develops as a shooter. So, as we look towards his future, I'll be monitoring 3 key areas as Caleb Wilson heads to University of North Carolina. First, shooting development. This is number 1. It's not about becoming a high volume sniper, but he must become respectable as a catch and shoot threat to maximize his offensive value and unlock the rest of his game. Second, staying efficient while increasing usage. We've seen that he can thrive in a lower usage role, but can Caleb increase his offensive usage without a drop-off in efficiency like in the past? He might not get the chance at this at UNC, but I'll keep an eye out for it. It could be something that raises his ceiling even further. Finally, finishing against size. He uses his size well, but continuing to add strength will be crucial for finishing through contact against NBA level big men. Developing a reliable floater or short-range touch would also make him a more dynamic threat in the paint, especially if the shot doesn't pan out. Which of these areas do you think is more important for his success? Drop your thoughts below. Caleb Wilson is one of the most intriguing prospects in this class because he maintains a decent floor while having an underrated ceiling. The floor is an impactful, versatile defender who can guard multiple positions and protect the rim, a valuable player on any team. But the ceiling is a potential all-defensive team forward who can also space the floor, attack closeouts, and make plays for others. That's not just a valuable player, that's an outright star. It all comes down to his development on the offensive end, and it's going to be a fascinating journey to watch. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, subscribe, and keep an eye out. Next week we'll be dropping another deep dive on the prospect in the 2026 draft class.